Now you might notice in the last couple of years that a lot more websites are using rounded corners. A few years ago, using CSS2, we used to have an image to create a rounded border. And then we'd have to use either another image to border the left, right, top, or bottom, or we'd have to align it just perfectly, and that can be really difficult to do. With CSS3, we can use the border radius property, and that allows us to curve the corners of a border. So far, our borders have looked pretty hard and jagged. They're like this right now, where every border we have just has right corners. Now with border radius, we can make the corners smooth and slick looking, kind of like the one below here, where our corners are a little more curved. Looking at the code, border radius is very similar to margin and padding. We can choose which side, or I guess in this case, which corner, to smooth out. So if we wanted to style the top right, bottom left, and top left corners, we would simply use border dash, top dash, right dash, radius. So really, border, and then our location. So it's going to be top right, bottom left, top left, radius, and our value. Now instead of writing all of this, we can just write border dash radius 10 pixels. And that will add a 10 pixel rounded border on all four corners. The shorthand method is also supported. When you use shorthand, instead of going from top right, bottom left, which is what we were doing before, we go from top left, top right, bottom left. This is still in the clockwise direction, but now instead of starting at 12 o'clock, you start at 10 o'clock. So you start at the top left corner instead of the utmost top. So if we did the shorthand, we just added a 1 pixel solid red border, and then we specify a border radius, top left, top right, bottom left. Now, in creating a visually appealing website, there's a very high probability that you will be using the border radius, and that's just because, well, rounded corners look a lot better than harder corners. So notice that with cars, a lot of cars these days are a lot smoother looking, whereas older cars are a lot more jagged and rough looking. Take the old Corvette, for example. The old Corvette, which is still a nice car, 30 years ago was hard and jagged and kind of pointy, whereas now it's a little bit more smoothed out.